We have one chubby lady, one underdesk elliptical, and 7 days to test it out. Can this machine turn the fabulous image she sees in the mirror into an actual reality?
We are most definitely going to find out. Hello, lovely humans. I am so glad you're here. I'm Heather, and I am on a journey to get healthy and to test all of the fitness fads along the way. So far, we have tried out the weighted hula hoop, the Wonder Core, and the reigning champion, the Mini Stepper. But it is time for a new opponent to enter the ring. It's time for the Ancheer Underdesk Elliptical. You might be wondering if the underdesk ellipticals are worth all the hype, and frankly, so am I. I'm also wondering if it can help me to get those toned leggies. So what are these ellipticals supposed to do? Well, I checked with a few different brands just to make sure we were all on the same page, and overall they are advertised as a low-impact workout that is good to improve your muscle strength, but also to improve your circulation. While overall each company advertises them as being something that anyone can use, there are definitely 3 main groups that these tend to advertise to. And that would be the older adult population, anybody who works at a sedentary job, aka those desk jobs, and anybody who is undergoing rehabilitation. That is my area of expertise because I am a physical therapist, and I can tell you that yes, we do use these with our patients. But I've never actually gotten to use the machine myself, and I'm really curious to see how it would affect someone with my level of fitness, which is roughly the beginner to intermediate range. I'm going to be using this underdesk elliptical for the next 7 days, for 30 minutes a day, with the goal of being able to answer 3 questions for you guys. 1, does it work? 2, who the heck would be best suited for this thing? And 3, is it worth the money? But before that, I think you guys need to take a good look at my legs so we can get some before pictures. As you can see, this is what my legs look like right now. I am obviously overweight. I carry a lot of my fat in my legs. And I definitely have some swelling going on, as well as some absolutely stunning bruising, as I'm sure y'all saw in the first part of the video, which I also wanted to explain a little bit more about. Now, you may have noticed that my legs, while fat, still don't look like regular chunky legs, and that is because I have lipedema, which is basically a combination of inflammation and an irregular fat distribution, so fun times for me. Part of the things that I am dealing with right now is also that I am having issues with my veins. As you saw from the beautiful bruise on my left leg, I had a procedure done 6 days ago called a venous ablation. Short version, veins not working right, it's going bye-bye, I'm a little swollen as a result. Now, tomorrow, I'm having the same procedure done on the opposite leg. So to be completely honest, I don't know if I'm gonna see any differences, good or bad, in my legs by the end of the 7 days. However, the reason this is actually a perfectly timed challenge is because veins are what helps you to get your blood back to your heart. This underdesk elliptical is said to help to improve your circulation, which, as someone who is about to get another vein essentially shut off, improving circulation is right in my wheelhouse. So I have the perfect timing to let y'all know if this actually helps with that. Into the ground. Let's see what's in the box, shall we? We have a remote, a little brushy to clean it. I'm assuming this is the cable to plug it in. Instruction manual, always important for, reading after you get frustrated and don't know what you're putting together. And lube, important in multiple settings, but this is only for the machine.
You nasty.
Don't be weird. And they even sent batteries. Now we have the machine itself. A little hard to get out of the box because it is very well protected with styrofoam. And this is the underdesk elliptical. This is the Ancheer brand. It has a little plug at the front where you plug in the cord. Now, there are different varieties of this. The therapeutic grade level, they tend to be considerably heavier. This is actually kind of a plus that this one is lighter, because if you're at home and if you are struggling to lift things, like right now, I'm only allowed to lift 10 pounds, so this is fantastic. It is much easier to have something lighter and easier to lift. The ones I have at work do not plug in, you just pedal, but these actually come with some extra features, which is why they have the plug-in option. We of course have the nice bright blue with the Ancheer label, and the pedals tilt back and forth, which I will say as someone with 3 cats comes in very handy for cleaning.
As it turns out, the box is also cat approved. Now, this one doesn't care because he wants dinner, but Mittens loves it. I'll feed you. Give me a minute.
In terms of how to use this machine, I did a deep dive through the instruction manual. I know, shocker. But I found out a few things. Everything that is a button on this screen down here is also a button on the remote, which makes it a lot easier to not have to squint down there if you are, say, at a desk and trying to get your exercise in. There are 2 different settings when this machine is plugged in. There is an HA setting, which basically is an automatic setting where it runs at the same speed. You get 12 different speeds. So you're going to hit the power button and it turns on. It'll automatically say HA, and you can place your feet, I am too far away. You place your feet on top of the pedals. Now, I am a size 9, and I feel like there's still a little bit of room. I'd say maybe about an inch or so behind the back part of my heel. So I think overall, it'll fit most shoe sizes. If you have really wide feet, just do it barefoot. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to start immediately with an automatic mode, you press the start button on your remote. That is speed 1. As you can hear, or maybe not hear, it is actually pretty impressively quiet. It can keep track of your distance, the time you're on it, the speed you're going, your calories, and how many steps you are taking. There's also a spot on the actual machine to put your remote in so you don't lose track of it, which I think is a really nice touch. If you have it set in one of the automatic modes, it will run for a maximum of 30 minutes and then shut off. So it's designed for a 30-minute timeline, which is perfect for this challenge. If you want to switch to, say, a program where it alternates, there is also a program setting where you press mode and it will switch over to one of 12 programs and you can change to which one you would like. I'm going to hit start on, say, program number 1. Still nice and quiet. This is speed 12. It's a little bit noisier, but not by much. I do actually feel like you could use this in an office without driving your desk mates insane. Instead of just doing an immediate jarring stop, it also does a slow stop, which if you are recovering from an injury is definitely a bonus. You also have the option to switch directions. So at this point you might be thinking, okay, well, is it just automatic? Because I'm not really working my legs that much. If you don't want to use any of the automatic systems, that's perfectly fine. It's not a ton of resistance. I would say it's a little bit noisier if you are doing it manually, but in this case, I'm actually using my leg muscles versus just having them moved for me. You can do the same thing if you want to go backwards. I can tell you already, based on what I'm seeing here, this is not going to be a, oh my gosh, I'm drenched in sweat and I burned 900 calories. Yeah, that'd be awesome, but is not going to happen. This is definitely something, is a kind of a subtle workout. Like it's advertised, it's meant to be low impact. Let me get to my 30-minute workout. I got my 30 minutes taken care of. I am feeling it in my legs, although I'm not dying, so I would say happy balance. And for once, my knees are not mad after a workout. I learned something really helpful in terms of how to target specific muscles. When you are pedaling on this machine, whether you're going forward or backwards, if you want to target kind of more like your lower leg muscles, focus on pushing through the balls of your feet. And if you want to target more of your thigh muscles, that part is a little bit harder, but if you focus on pushing through your heel instead, it seems to be a little bit easier to target it. Okay. As y'all can see, I have definitely had days where I was looking a little better. We got the other venous ablation procedure done this morning. I am quite sore and I have spent most of the day unconscious, kind of recuperating on the couch. Because I haven't been moving a lot, and because it was a procedure specifically on my vein, I really want to make sure that I'm being proactive with getting some moving happening so that I don't end up with a blood clot, because that is not the kind of side effect you want. I am going to go with the slowest one of the pre-programmed settings and just kind of see how it does. For my leg, I'm hoping it doesn't hurt. Also, just a heads up, this is only meant to be used in sitting, not ever in standing, like with the mini stepper. It's a smidge noisier today as it makes a little roundabout. You hear a little there. But for now, I think we're good. This isn't hurting my leg too badly. Just a little bit of extra movement to get that blood flowing. This is actually kind of soothing.
Later.
The 30 minutes are up. I thankfully survived just fine. One of the things I like about the automated program so far is that it starts off slow and going forward. And then once you kind of find your groove, it starts speeding up, and it will also change directions. Wasn't really sure how my leg was going to tolerate this, but it actually did very good because it kind of got that little warm up in. I'm still sore, of course, but I actually feel a little bit less sore than when I started. I'm not sure how that's going to go with the walking part though. So let's get off this thing. And luckily tomorrow I can take the bandages off and we'll hopefully be feeling better.
Then he waddled away, waddle waddle, till the very next day.
I'm definitely still sore today from the procedure, but I did notice when I finally got to take my bandages off this morning that the leg actually looks a lot less swollen for day 2 than my other leg looked initially, and I am kind of wondering if that had something to do with the fact that I did the automatic setting on the elliptical last night, just to kind of get that circulation flowing. So fingers crossed it's working. Today we are back to doing it on the active setting, 15 forward and 15 back. I just wanted to bring it in here so I could enjoy my Christmas lights as well as watch an episode of Murder, She Wrote. I got through my 30 minutes. I did try to make sure that I was working a little bit harder this time by really focusing on going as fast as I could comfortably. Mittens, of course, was also working hard at making some biscuits while I was on the elliptical. I found that as long as I do focus on going faster, I do actually get something of a workout. Based on everything I've reviewed so far, it seems like more of a workout than the smart hula hoop and less of a workout than the mini stepper, because that mini stepper goes hard. That one's higher impact than the elliptical. What I found so far is that if I focus when I'm going forward on pushing my feet, it definitely addresses the fronts of my thighs. And when I go backwards, if I focus instead on pulling them towards me, that of course is going to focus on the back of my thighs. So you can kind of cater your workout however you want it.
Have this feeling, haven't felt for so long. Took a hold of me and won't.
It took me a minute and a few obligatory butt scratches for the cat, but I did finally make it over to the elliptical for day 5 to get my workout on.
We got through our 30 minutes, 15 forward, 15 back. Yes. Can I help you? I'm trying to film here. We got through our 15 minutes forward and back. I tried something a little bit different today, and that was just pedaling as fast as I could. Obviously not so My child is being a wee bit demanding today, but I did my pedaling as fast as I could, and I wanted to test basically if it would start to slide away from me or not, and I'm actually pretty impressed. The elliptical the whole time did not run off on me, even when I was pedaling like as fast as humanly possible. I also wanted to see if it would ever cause me to break a sweat. No, but I do actually feel like it did a pretty good job in targeting my legs. I got a workout, even if it wasn't like a die-hard workout like you'd get doing, the leg press or the stair stepper at the gym. Either way, I'll take it. Not too shabby. You're ridiculous. She basically hovered by the door the entire time I was on the machine, like, what is that? And now that I'm done, she's very excited to come and investigate.
It's the last day. I'm coming at y'all from the phone cam because I have been like half dead on the couch, just relaxing. I am too full of holiday food and I did not want to work out, but I am dragging myself over right now, I promise, to my actual camera and my elliptical.
Just finished the first 15 minutes. We are about to do our last 15 minutes going backwards. One of the things that makes me really happy is that even after already having done this machine for like 6 days, it's day 7, and yeah, it took me a minute to drag my butt off the couch. But once I actually get on here, I really kind of enjoy myself. It's very low key, it's not overly stressful, and I do actually feel like the soreness and the stiffness in my joints tends to lighten up a little bit afterwards, and I think that definitely has to do with the improvement in my circulation. I will friggin' take it. Let's do the last 15 minutes. Challenge complete. My bangs are hanging so hard today that I feel like one of those emo kids from high school. Tomorrow, the second I'm off of work, we are going to go and take our after portion of the transformation pictures.
In spite of not being able to use my compression pump for lipedema and having that venous ablation in the middle of this challenge, I actually did not notice any increase in swelling, and that is to the credit of the elliptical. My bruising has gone down over time, and thankfully, my legs pretty much look the same, so I'd consider it a win.
So you saw the before and after videos, and I think based on those, we can safely say that our first question, which is, does it work, is a yes in terms of circulation. It is a huge deal to me that I found a machine that can help me on the weeks where maybe I had like a vein procedure going on, or I wasn't as active with using my like lipedema compression sleeves. Just being able to have something that helps with that so that my swelling doesn't get worse is a godsend. I'm actually going to keep this thing underneath my desk on the regular so I can use it at least once a day while I'm editing my YouTube videos, trying to be all efficient and get a little circulation help in the meantime.
It's the sound of a good time.
But what about in terms of muscle strength? For this machine, I would say, am I going to get a good exercise if I do it actively? Absolutely, but not to the same degree where I'm going to be drenched in sweat or sore the next day. It's not meant to be that kind of workout. It's meant to be a lot more low key. The idea, I think, with these ellipticals is that you burn a few extra calories here and there, and it adds up gradually without necessarily straining you. So while I'm doing my editing, I don't have to think super hard about what I need to do to burn calories. I just kind of keep pedaling. And that adds up over time because you can do this if you want to for multiple hours a day or at least multiple days a week for shorter time periods, and it really adds up. In that 1 week, like y'all saw in the video, you're not necessarily going to see killer calves or quads, but maybe after using it for a year, and as long as you keep challenging yourself with it, you're definitely going to see some muscle growth. Since it is something that is intended for kind of slow, gradual growth, it's perfect for the same populations that it advertised initially. I would say I'm in complete agreement. So the top 3, if you guys remember, were senior citizens, which obviously it is a stereotype. I realize there are plenty of senior citizens out there who are going hard with the workouts in the gym. But generally speaking, a lot of people, when they retire, maybe spend a little bit too much time in front of the TV and they're not as active as they once were. This particular machine, in my opinion, I think is a great way to really start to build that endurance back up and to get more movement. So if you are hanging out watching an episode or 3 of Murder, She Wrote, you can keep pedaling, keep that circulation going, and make sure you're not just sitting still and doing absolutely nothing to be healthy. The other population, of course, would be those at-home workers, which falls right in line, because if you are either working from home or say in an office working at a desk all day, you're going to have the same problem where you don't move as commonly. You're increasing your risk of blood clots, but you're definitely burning less calories while you're sitting there. So the fact that I have the opportunity to say put this under my desk and just pedal without disturbing everyone around me, I think is absolutely fantastic and pretty much right on the money. So the third and final population that they advertise this for that I do think they're spot on with is, of course, that rehab population. So anybody with those new hips, those new knees, maybe struggling a little bit with arthritis or something neurological going on, this is a really, really great way to be able to transition from those passive settings where it kind of moves for you, kind of gets that lubrication of your joints going, into something a little bit more active. Nicely done, Underdesk Elliptical companies, especially Ancheer, for advertising it correctly. So is it worth the money? I've checked all different options, and for the most part, Underdesk ellipticals go anywhere from $109 all the way to $249. That includes both the Ancheer brand and other brands as well. I think the main thing that varies is just what features you want to have on there. I personally think that for my needs, as well as say anybody who is just getting a little bit more active or who has those desk jobs, I think that the one that I reviewed for this video, pretty much spot on. This one runs $149.99, and they're pretty good about having the sales. It's $129.99 right now on Amazon.
Get in, loser. We're going fun shopping.
I'm going to also make sure to link anything that's like a variation of the product in case you need something specific, just so you know your options. And you can, of course, look through the reviews and just make sure it's something you're comfortable with. I would say overall, given the price for this one, I'm very happy with it. I'm keeping it. I think it's a fair price. I think it'll last a good long time, thank goodness. It's something that I can use long term to just kind of gradually improve both my circulation and get a little bit of extra calories here and there. And to me, that sounds like a win. Because when you're trying to lose weight, we need all the help we can get, okay? Now, if you have any more questions about the under desk elliptical, whether that be how we use it in a clinical setting or just features on this one, just leave a comment down below. I will be more than happy to answer anything. And I would also love to know what you guys would like me to review next. So make sure you let me know that as well. In the meantime, I will see you lovely, lovely humans next time, and I have some pedaling to do. Bye-bye.